guess who they allowed back? Here we go again. This is Erin. We're doing another Team Park Daily Zero series, mini episode, special edition, all the things. Thank you for having me back. As usual, it's an honor and a privilege. And we have another special guest this week, Casey J. Ford.
Don't forget the J.
And we have your usual suspects with Nash.
What's up?
And Wells.
Ladies, what's up?
And we're here for a really good reason.
Which is?
Infinity War.
Yay. Oh, guys, don't stand all at once, I guess.
We got really hype in our movie podcast a few weeks ago. We spent a lot of time excited, waiting for this day. It has come, and we are here to discuss. We have a place to be. We have a lot to talk about. It's going to be a good time. I have a surprise for you guys at the end. I told Wells I did some math. I went back to my stats days. There might be an Excel spreadsheet.
Wow.
It's going to be really exciting. And I know that Nash has been waiting.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has a few hours in him.
Yep.
He's ready to release.
Yep.
The temperature is getting hot in here.
Yep.
The passion is boiling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get into it. Okay, so let me just say, we went all together, and our movie-going experience in VIP was not the movie-going experience that other people had. I've heard stories of clapping theaters, standing ovation theaters, crying theaters. We had a really subdued group of people in our theater.
Because we went to VIP.
Yeah.
Where people actually know how to behave.
It was a Friday night at 10:30, a civilized crowd. Okay.
As we all sip on our wines and lattes.
Yeah, it was very, very civilized.
It was
crowd.
pinkies up and polite applause.
The way it should be.
The way it should be.
The way we were meant to watch movies.
So we saw Infinity War. Has anyone gone to see it again? Anyone had round 2?
I need to.
I haven't, but I definitely want to.
Okay.
I tried to today, but then it just didn't work out. So I might go tomorrow.
Okay, so we're getting a one viewing opinion here. Nobody has gone deep. Has anyone been reading reviews, watching any videos, seeing what the sentiment is?
No, I got my own opinion.
I read a couple reviews. You know, you have those trolls online who will find anything wrong with anything, right? Or
That's
something
me.
wrong with anything. Calling it the worst movie ever made.
Whoa.
Come
So
on.
on and so forth, right?
Okay, well then you just have to hit back.
I think people are just upset because they know is this spoiler free?
Spoiler free. Spoiler free.
We're not
What?
saying spoiler free. We're saying we're going spoilers. So if you have not seen Avengers,
No, spoiler free.
Something you have to say to
Infinity
start.
War,
Yeah.
at this point, please stop listening. Go to your local theater, preferably VIP,
Preach.
We're the civilized group.
and then come back to us 2 hours and 36 minutes later when you're ready to listen.
Wait, don't talk about the ending yet. We can't yet. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole...
Okay, well, we'll talk about that at the end, though. But
Yeah.
a lot of people have an opinion on the ending
Yeah.
that they feel ruins the movie for them, where a lot of other people
I got some hot takes.
opposite.
I got some hot takes on the ending.
We'll get into it. So I just want to see,
Sizzling.
and how influenced are you coming into this, Nash?
Can we give our ratings first right top?
Yeah,
Just so we get it.
that'll be the first thing. Okay, well let's go into it. So overall sentiment, what do you want to do? Out of 5?
I'm giving it a B.
Oh,
Out
okay.
of
B.
5, you're giving it a B.
Yes. Out of 5, I'm giving it a B. I'm giving it a B.
Do you know how numbers work?
I can't
All
give that
right.
numbers.
So you're a B, and
B.
tell us about your okay.
These guys.
Technically, just a 4 out of 5, but anyway.
A B's 4 to 5? Okay, whatever.
I don't know. You guys, your ranking system's all messed up. She asked you for a number. you
Letters
gave
and
her a
numbers. What are we
letter.
doing? Letters and numbers.
Out of 10, give it.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
A B is a what? 8?
8.
8.
That's high.
Yeah, it is high.
High, like on a,
Really?
a scale of 10, and
come on.
the 8 is high.
Okay.
I would give Black Panther like a 9
What
or
about
10.
a scale of Marvel movies?
Okay,
No, you're getting ahead of
10
yourself.
is a perfect
Scale
movie.
of 10.
10 is a perfect movie.
That's
movie.
Shawshank.
Flaws.
Yeah, Shawshank right there. It's
Okay,
10.
so
Shawshank is like a 10.
so Nash,
I'm giving
Nash
it
is an 8.
Shawshank's not in the MCU.
I know. I'm just
Wells
saying.
out of 10.
I cannot give this movie a grade because I feel it's incomplete.
Wow, you're one of those guys,
So,
eh?
but is this like a Lord of the Rings? You're going to wait until all 3 are done, and then
Okay.
you're going to give it an Oscar? Are you able?
For production value, for the sheer fact of how they pulled this together, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Whoa!
Whoa.
But I mean, like,
But it is like
if you think about what they did, I've never seen anything like it.
No, you're right.
36 characters, 22 movies later, they've like built,
Yeah, like it's
and it's all been coming to
and
this.
it was pretty coherent, like editing wise. I wouldn't say everyone gets to shine, but everyone has a moment, and they actually made a decent villain, which is 2 movies in a row now. So I don't know.
3. I would say 3. If you count Michael Keaton.
No, because Thor
You're like
Ragnarok
the
was in a
biggest
row.
proponent of Michael
He was really
Keaton.
good.
He was really good.
Yeah, he was really good.
But he's not as good as Killmonger, who I think was the best. And
Yeah,
I think Thanos is second. But, like, anyways, I think it's still incomplete, though, because, we'll get into that later.
There's a part 2.
Okay,
to
so
the
if
movie.
you say 9 for the fact that they pulled it off, what's
The
the
fact
other?
that they pulled it off, it looked great. The acting was good. The timing, like, the comedic timing was brilliant. There were so many good one-liners. Like, even right before they go into battle, like, the whole... they were talking about like Wakanda, and like I thought that we'd get like the Olympics here, stuff like that. Like it was, there was such good lines right up until the end.
Yeah, I give it an 8. It was a really good
You
movie.
guys.
Like Wells said, I mean, the issue everyone thought they would have with this movie is how you're going to get all these characters and make it enjoyable. Give everyone their proper screen time. And they pulled it off. Like, I mean, they actually pulled it off.
Well, what I think is so interesting is
What's your grade? What's your grade?
Just let her go.
I'm
Man.
going to talk,
Okay,
and then I'll
sorry.
tell you my
Holy
rating.
cow.
What's so funny is I think that I just have a way different scale of movie quality because I left the theater and my sentiment about the movie overall was way stronger than yours. I thought it was incredible that they pulled it off, that they had 60-something characters who all had a moment to shine. You didn't even blink. There was no moment in that movie where I was pulled out of the moment. I was in it. I was engaged. I had fun. I laughed. I felt the emotion that they were trying to give. And I still wouldn't go an 8. Like an 8 out of 10 on a movie scale is like
It's a really
good movie. And I think if I'm thinking about overall, I would say like 7.5.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's why I'm surprised that you're an 8.
Wow.
Well, I do judge Marvel movies
To other Marvel movies?
compared to other comic book type movies.
Okay.
So you're not putting it against.
I'm not judging Shawshank Redemption or There Will Be Blood against Iron Man.
No.
Right? Like, they're 2 different
Well,
categories.
however you want to perceive the movie and how you feel it should be, like, obviously we're going to see this movie to escape reality. You know, we've been invested into this for a long time, and the fact that it hit on all cylinders pretty much, like, you know, you base it off that. And
Yeah. So
Keep going. I'm talking
doing sign language.
No, I'm telling them to take the cord out of there. Now close it. Yeah.
all right, they're not paying attention
There.
as usual.
I was paying attention, but I was directing Casey to do something.
Anyways, you have your way of rating things. Everyone has their way of rating things, and I think, you know, for me, I think again, I can't. I really give it incomplete, but just for sheer like pulling this together and having the way it looked was amazing. The way they bounced from planet to planet and like character to character. And it starts off like right off. You're like introduced to
There was no holds barred
and then
with
it just
this
kept
movie.
going and going and going. There's no real dull moments other than I think the weakest part was when Vision was with Scarlet Witch. I think those scenes.
Okay,
lacked.
well, we're gonna get into that. Do you want to give any information about your rating?
No. We'll go through the talking
All
points,
right.
and then if they're missing anything, then I'll go into it. But go on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, and I do think it's a good call out of like the cold open. Like it was just like we're not wasting time. Every minute counts, and we're just going straight into it.
But they could do that because they built these movies properly.
Totally.
They didn't need to build characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It literally started off right after Thor.
It was very Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was very much like we're just going to go right into
See,
this.
this-
We're bringing you along whether you feel like you're ready for it or not.
This was crazy because it broke the record for box office opening
Was
weekend.
expected. Yeah.
I didn't expect that only because just by watching it, it's not accessible to everybody. If you haven't watched these movies and you went in there cold without watching anything,
Yeah, but everyone watches.
Who hasn't
I know.
watched these movies? And I haven't watched
that,
Thor
that may be true.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, maybe true.
Oh,
That's,
I didn't watch Thor Ragnarok. I
Yeah,
watched
and you
it
probably-
after.
Oh, you did?
And
That was
for
really good.
anyone who hasn't seen the movie
That's really
first,
good.
watch Thor. It definitely gives the movie some context. You will be able to figure it out without it, but it does help.
But yeah, like I said, like if you did, again, you're probably right, Wells, that everyone in the world's probably seen all these movies. But if you didn't and you went in there cold, you would be complete lost. Like who's
You're
that guy?
also-
Who's that guy?
You're also an idiot for going into
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like that. Like,
But they don't hold your hand in this movie at all. It's,
Who's
let's-
going
they shouldn't.
Who's going opening
some people
weekend?
might. Some people might.
Who's going opening weekend though? Cold. I don't see anyone going
Well,
to
if
an
you-
opening weekend movie and never saw since Iron Man. They haven't seen any of these movies.
Well, if you're somebody and you're dragging your significant other, it's like, oh, come on, I want to see this movie. I was like, oh, I don't really pay. And then you drag them in there. You're like, oh man.
Shout out to Sarah who took a nap, a $30 nap, through this whole movie on Friday night.
And
She
that's,
doesn't-
that's what you do.
Yeah, and Sarah didn't watch any of the.
No.
One
She
of our,
slept the whole way.
one of our friends that came to the movie theater with us. I guess she didn't watch any of the Marvel movies, and yeah, just took a $30
Very
nap.
expensive nap. Okay, let's go into some of the topics. So I pulled out a few things for us to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is what were the wins and what were the letdowns? Where were the parts where you were like, hell yes, they nailed it? And where were the parts that you were like, ugh, missed the mark? Well, let's start with you.
I think I kind of already alluded to it. Like, I think just getting everyone to make it work is like the biggest win, right? I think everyone was afraid of that. Like, how can they make this not a mess? Yeah, I've already said actually. I said that the comedy, which is peppered throughout. Like, there's so many nice one-liners and
Ned when he was in the bus, and Spider-Man's like, oh, I need a distraction, and Ned without thinking just gets up. He's like, oh my god, we're all gonna die. It's a spaceship.
that's it. And then you never saw him again.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know that was his name.
did you see Spider-Man?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, so there's that. Like the losses, like the L's, like I said, the relationship between Vision and Scarlet Witch. I also didn't really care much for the children of Thanos. They kind of just threw them in there.
Oh, yeah. So I want to talk about them because I actually thought they were awesome, but I didn't know anything about them. Like, I don't...
They kind of just threw them in there. Like, here's the minions or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, the guys-
I actually felt like they were cool, and I
Yeah,
wanted to
they-
know more, and I wish they were more developed. Like, if we had been introduced to them in past movies, and maybe we were, and I just missed it.
But I think what they tried to do was focus on Thanos.
It was, yeah.
They really tried to give him some depth because he's really the only character we know nothing about. Like for me, the pluses for this movie were the matchups that the producers or the director chose to do, right? Like matching up Doctor Strange with Iron Man, like a team up you wouldn't normally see,
Yeah. Or you haven't seen.
right?
Yeah.
And they did that through the entire movie, right? Even Peter Quill, right? He was great in this movie, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to talk about him later because I have a really strong opinion about Peter Quill in this movie. That is not that he's amazing.
So the Black Order, that's again one of my drawbacks to that movie. That's Thanos' minions, so called the Black Order. They didn't even say. They said the name of one of them once. I don't know if anyone actually caught that. It was Ebony Maw. He's the one with the telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
They said his name, but the rest of them, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Clave, and Black Dwarf, which they renamed, which I can't remember what they renamed. They didn't even say their names. They were just cannon fodder.
But
The
for
whole
a
movie.
non-comic book reader such as myself, right? I didn't care.
You
Right?
didn't-
They were
But you
minions.
didn't?
They were good villains.
I
right?
thought they were.
didn't-
That's what I thought they were great
They were
villains, and I
good
actually
villains.
I was like, with what's the name of the sorcerer one?
See, the great villains, you can't remember.
You
their
take the
name.
great villains. You can't remember which one's sorcerer. The
Telekinesis.
Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw. So he, he's like a standalone villain. Like, his
great.
powers were amazing. Where did they come from? What is his backstory? Like, for me, that was a letdown, but I also wanted to know more.
How he died though was pretty cool. That was funny. You ever see that old movie Aliens? And then they blew the air hatch and took him out of there.
No, it was like I said. I really think they wanted to focus on Thanos. They can't focus on all the villains. And Thanos, like Will said earlier, I think he was actually a really good villain.
He's a bit of a softie, though.
Well,
You're supposed to sympathize.
any other wins or letdowns?
Oh, I have a lot.
Keep going.
Okay.
We can save that. Thanos as a villain is his own topic, so we'll come back to him for sure.
Okay.
But what else was letting you down this movie?
Letdowns. The CGI was really good.
Except,
yeah.
for some reason, when they had Bruce Banner in the
small head.
What was that? Like, they superimposed his head onto that.
It
thing.
really stood out.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was so bad.
The movie looked great, and then there's just like they just let me just put little Bruce Banner head here, and okay, let's send it out to the theaters. We're good to go.
That was very distracting, and also I don't know if you guys noticed Iron Man's armor. It just looked very sleek, and you can tell it was a CGI all the way through. There was a lot of good CGI, but then again, small head Bruce Banner and the Iron Man armor didn't really look as clean.
So is your opinion with CGI, it's like you have to do it all well or just don't bother?
Yes.
Well, you got ILM behind you. You got the best people in the world making doing the CGI.
Look at Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, the guy who did the original Jurassic Park, he died, and I think we said this in the last podcast. He took all his secrets with him. Jurassic Park is almost flawless as far as the CGI is concerned, and that was done in 1995. And it looks 93, and it looks way better than the stuff we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I think it's a cost of just rushing to get these movies out.
Yes.
You think they rushed this?
Yes.
Movie?
It's a rush. It's a rush. Because what happens is
they rushed this one out.
No. What happens is because if you noticed in Thor Ragnarok, if you notice when they were on the cliffs when he was talking to his father. That looked completely fake, and they rushed it because
but that was
they changed.
reshoots.
I could see Thor them.
This is what I think.
I'm talking about Avengers.
If you watch the commercials, you see Hulk in Wakanda.
But do you think that that's the next movie, and they've pulled that forward?
What I think it is I think they may have shot half the movie with Hulk actually in as the Hulk, as opposed to him fighting.
No, what they're doing now is, and if you notice in all the trailers, what they're doing now is they're actually filming stuff strictly for trailers to throw you off.
Like a misdirect?
Yes, as a viewer. Because if you notice in Thor Ragnarok, all the trailers, Thor has both of his eyes. But when you watch the movie, he's like, oh, he only has one eye in that scene. Or there's in...
Well, he lost the eye at the end of the movie, though.
Yeah, but there's a scene where he comes down with the thunder lightning onto the bridge. In the trailer, he has both his eyes. But in the movie, he doesn't. And there's Spider-Man Homecoming, when Iron Man and Spider-Man are going through the city. That's in the trailer, but it's not in the movie.
But you're right. They film trailers.
Yeah, trailers are their own thing. Yeah, they're giving them as much.
I thought they had filmed Hulk and then they did a reshoot, and they're just well, actually, we want to put Bruce Banner in.
They're
Iron Man
wouldn't that be funnier?
No, they purposely film things. They purposely do it.
Marketing guys basically said we need a scene with Captain America, Hulk, and Black Panther, and all these guys running somewhere. Right?
Yeah,
in Wakanda.
That scene wasn't even in the movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that. Oh,
you guys like that though? Or would you have wanted to see that scene in the movie? Do you guys like that when they misdirect you in trailers, or do you care?
It really was there, except Hulk was in the Iron Man suit.
No, that scene wasn't there. That scene when they're running forward like that, that wasn't there at all.
That was not in the movie.
There was a scene where they're running forward.
It was similar, but not the same. Yeah. It was a different angle and then slightly different characters. What about Thor? I didn't know that Thor was going to get his eye back. I liked eye patch Thor.
It's funny because
where did he find it again?
Rocket gave him an eye.
Right.
And I think Rocket had that eye from a previous movie. I think. Because Rocket has some obsession with grabbing body parts. Remember when he was talking?
Yeah. You're right. He's collecting body parts.
When he was talking to Winter Soldier, he's like, "Can I have the gun?" He's like, "No." How about your arm? He just walks away. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the arm."
So why do you hate Peter Quill?
Well, okay, you're jumping ahead, but do you want to go there?
No.
Yeah, go on.
All right. Well, the first thing that I said to you when we got in the car leaving the movie was this whole movie would have ended so differently if he hadn't had an emotional breakdown, Thanos was done.
But that's his character.
But it's just ridiculous
That's
because
from
I'm like,
human nature.
control
But it's also
yourself.
from Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Think
like,
about the greater impact. Like, don't be an emotional.
Well,
it was just so annoying. And
his
throughout the
career is
whole
peppered with that.
movie, he just has his like, this is my problem. I only care about myself.
But that's
It's
that's him.
selfish. And it's immature.
I
It
don't-
ruined the whole, like, the outcome of the
and
movie
it's
was
a
because of him.
classic plot device. Like,
Yes.
So
But
frustrating.
wouldn't you argue that it's actually a legitimate plot device because human beings actually act that way?
yeah.
But I
think
don't
about
want them
others?
to.
Well, what you want doesn't mean it's real.
was that earned though? I'm trying to go back and think like through Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, did they actually like? Did you feel the love between those two guys?
Well, he really likes it.
I know that, but did they actually? I can't remember.
In the second one, I think they established it.
Did they? Okay. I can't remember if it was actually earned or not. But okay, if you say it was
Well,
established,
you
then-
could tell by the way he talked to her in the first one. Like,
yeah. Oh, I knew that,
At
but
least how he felt about her. She wouldn't have to reciprocate at all. He just
Yeah.
had that love for her.
yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Very true. Very true, Wells. Yeah, you're right.
Don't get me wrong. I completely agree. It's all his fault.
Everything
right?
is his fault.
But I
Like-
understand why he did it.
Do you actually? You're like,
Don't agree with it. I
all
don't
for the
agree with it. I
love.
don't need to agree
And
with
not
something
even
to
that he could
understand.
reverse what happened, that he's just going to let his anger control him to the point that he's going to destroy half the universe.
But
We
That's
also
what
saw
anger
a
does.
similar thing that Tony Stark did in Civil War, right?
Well, and Tony Stark is not a good example of
No,
somebody.
but I'm just saying
What
it's
about
like
Captain
it's,
America?
I'm like, we're
this
talking
is
about
a
a-
classic like plot device used by Marvel.
Yeah.
Like where you
Oh
got,
yeah, I was trying to remember what you were talking about. Was
Oh,
anyway,
they
go on.
showed the
Yeah,
video
yeah.
of his parents.
Yeah,
dying,
yeah. I was
right?
trying to figure out what you were talking about. Yeah, but go on. Sorry, I cut you off.
Captain America choosing his friend Bucky over everything else.
Which was really stupid, but whatever.
Right?
Bucky, no.
I just want to acknowledge the fact that these are all men who are in very powerful positions and they're forgetting themselves and making selfish decisions that impact the entire universe. And you don't see women doing that. Anywhere.
Scarlet Witch.
Definitely did
Again,
not
she
want to
could
give
have
up
just blew
vision.
that thing off his head earlier in the movie, but she didn't want
That
to.
is true.
So
Okay.
it's you know.
So your point, mute.
Mute. I think it's moot.
Mute.
Well, since you're
I never got that right.
since we're talking about Scarlet Witch, can we talk about power levels in these movies? Which is a
No, you can't because
no. Come on, man.
Yeah, I actually think that was a win. They did a good job of showing.
No,
they
they
did a
didn't.
good job
can't,
of
man,
showing the
because
relativity
if you-
of the powers.
If you want to do this, then all Thanos has to do is just take that time switch thing and go back to I don't know when, and there would be
Okay.
no movie.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through what I feel is like where they screwed up on the power level. So in the beginning of the movie, Thanos manhandled the Hulk.
Yeah,
Had
kind of like
no
how
chance.
Hulk did to Loki in Avengers.
Hulk has been shown to be stronger than Thor.
Yeah.
Then Thor came in and started wrecking Thanos a little bit. So Thanos wrecked the Hulk, but yet Captain America stopped his punch.
Yeah, man. Go get it, buddy.
Yo, don't talk mess about Cap.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch clearly is the most powerful one of them all. Clearly, you can see that, even though they haven't really shown it yet.
Until Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but yet, remember when her and Vision were having their little date night?
Yeah, man.
She had to be saved by Captain America and Scarlet Witch.
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember when they're having a
when
date
they were
night?
in the city in the train station.
Yeah.
So their power levels are all
Man,
over the place.
You could do this for every
Outfought.
movie.
Well, but that
Just got
you
outfought.
you just have to
No, they didn't.
assume. You just have to assume that it's just so that we can have movies.
Yeah.
Because
is,
if they
it
had
is.
an ultimate
Now you're
like
nitpicking.
level
Yes, that's what we're
of
here for.
power, then this would there
Just
would be
because-
nothing.
Yeah, just because someone's stronger doesn't mean they're always going to win a fight.
And I would bring you guys back to your team podcast when you're talking about matchups in playoff basketball. It's the same thing. It's about the matchup of powers. It's not about the direct relation of who is stronger than who.
Yes, it is.
It's how does one thing work with another. I was like, you guys spend a lot of time talking about that. So.
All I'm saying is Scarlet Witch was clearly the most powerful one, and she couldn't beat Corvus Clave in Proxima Midnight by herself, which she clearly can.
And are we also just assuming that she's still, because I think 2 movies ago, she was like a teenager who didn't know how to use her powers.
but she's clearly the strongest.
But maybe she just is unharnessed.
I'm just saying they don't establish rules. They do not.
Well, they can't because
It's the
it's a
comics.
movie.
Comic book movies.
No, comics they establish rules. Comic book movies they don't.
No, they
Come on, man. I don't even read that much, and I know they don't.
Comics
Get
change
out of
all
here,
the time.
man.
Well,
How do
depending
you
on the
comics
writer.
keep
Yeah, depending-
Okay.
Exactly.
I want to hear, you talked about it a bit, Casey, but I want to hear about your favorite collabos. Who were your favorite character overlaps, and what did you love about them? Tell me which one was your favorite.
Oh, you put me on the spot here.
Yeah, buy me some time.
I really,
Want me to go first? I got mine.
I really loved the Doctor Strange,
Iron Man
That was-
and
Like,
Spider-Man.
Even just Doctor Strange and Iron Man. The fact that Iron Man referred to him as Wizard the entire movie.
They're the exact same person.
Exactly.
The exact same person.
It was it was genius. It was
How did
Magic versus money.
Yeah, how did Doctor Strange how did Iron Man not know who he was? Like,
How did Doctor Strange not? Did Doctor Strange know who he was?
everyone knows who Tony Stark is.
Okay, he didn't know who he was. I
but
guess.
Tony Stark is just being an ass.
Yeah,
And
true.
he was
Actually,
But-
He would be the kind of person
Yeah.
that
And
wouldn't.
I also think that there's a little bit of the Harry Potterness of it, of like wizards are on their own realm. They are not living every day with all of the mortals. They're not
Yeah,
living
but
every
he
day.
wasn't a wizard at one point, right?
But
Like,
how
it's-
long do you think in the universe has he been pulled out in training and like living in his townhouse and
2 years.
doing?
yeah, probably.
That's since the movie came. No,
New York got blown up like
No.
5 years ago.
No, they said-
don't establish a time.
They've
frame.
said all these movies have taken place within 6 years
Okay.
within the movie.
I still don't buy it.
Yeah, within the movie, it's taking all these movies.
Either
have taken place in
whether
6
he
years.
knew whether Iron Man knew.
Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to take you away from your point.
Like just the dynamic between the two of them. The fact that you're right, they are very similar personality types. It was just fun watching them, just the banter between the two, and then you had Spider-Man in there as this child, basically, right, adding his 2 cents.
And did you like Doctor Strange more in this movie than you did in
Yes,
Doctor
I
Strange?
did,
Yes.
yes, I did, because he was the arrogant. He was back to the arrogant ass, and him going up against Tony Stark, the arrogant ass.
And his American accent was less jarring in this. There was something. I was a little bit more into him in his
He's
characterization.
a big movie star now. We
Yeah.
have to get that
I-
right.
I have a confession.
Shoot,
I did not like Doctor Strange the movie at all.
I don't think anyone did.
I did.
A lot of people did like it. I was very confused by it, and I didn't buy any of the characters. But I loved him in this movie. I thought he was good.
Hold on, you didn't like Wong?
I liked Wong. I did like Wong. I just forgot his name. I didn't want to be racist.
That kind of makes you racist.
You're allowed to appreciate people.
I knew it was a traditional.
You're tiptoeing.
Anyways, yeah, but I really liked Doctor Strange in this. It was a bit more simplified.
Yeah. And what was your favorite collaboration?
Easy. Thor and Rocket Raccoon.
Yes.
Like, that was a great combo. A galaxy combo. I liked it.
Captain
Rabbit.
Yeah, Rabbit. Yeah.
Captain Rocket.
Yeah.
I guess I got to be the captain. I think that was like that again. It being a Thanos movie, it was also kind of like a Thor movie kind of thing because he had to go on that whole journey where he had to get his new hammer/axe.
Yeah. And shout out to the small collab of Groot and Thor with the hammer.
Oh yeah.
How he used the handle. That was pretty cool.
I guess Groot's worthy now because he picked up the hammer.
He always has his moments.
Like, no, because he picked up the hammer and no one else can pick it up. So I guess he's worthy.
Teenage
He
Groot
was the
awesome.
handle.
And did you like Peter Dinklage getting to be a giant?
That was the best joke.
I don't know.
The one where
Dumb. I thought it was dumb.
the one where Peter Dinklage is like, you're about to take the full brunt of a star, and it could cause death. And Thor's like, only if it kills me. He's like, yes, that's what death means.
Nash, what was your favorite collabo?
That was it. Thor and Rocket when they were in the ship and he's like, oh, I guess I got to be the captain now. And he's talking to Thor, and then Thor was going through all the loss he had to go through, and you could tell he's like kind of fighting back tears. He's like, but stiff of a lip and gotta get through it. But you could tell it still hurts him though. Yeah, I think I prefer the comedic Thor now. I think that's a lot better than the first two they got. a lot better.
Taika Waititi has taken
Yeah, you
Thor
can
to
take
the
him,
next
yeah.
level. He is so enjoyable. I was the one that always said Thor should have never even been a movie, and I will take Ragnarok every day over
Apparently-
any other Marvel
Where was
movie.
Korg?
This is
Yeah.
Dwayne Nash is very sad about this because we
He's the best
assume that he might have died on the ship with all of the other.
No, they
Which
would have gave
character?
him. They would have gave him. They showed Idris Elba.
Rock.
So you think they're
and
saving
Loki.
him?
I don't know, but like.
Oh, and do you think that
well,
Loki?
Val-
Do you think that
Valkyrie
Loki
wasn't
is
there
gone
Loki's
for real?
dead, yeah, and also what's her Valkyrie? Like, what happened
But
to
is
her?
Tom Hiddleston's contract done? Tessa Thompson's for sure coming back. There's no way that they wouldn't bring her back. She
Valkyrie.
plays Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Oh, let's go by a character name.
So what? There was actually a line that Thor said. He's like, "Yeah, half of my people were killed." So ensuing
Just
that,
throw away Korg and Valkyrie.
yeah, they're the best part. So assuming that half those people got off, they didn't show how they got off, but we're just
And
assuming.
that's like Thanos is not going places killing everyone. He's only ever killing half the people.
which is kind of weird.
Spoiler alert.
Which is kind of weird. You're gonna say something, Case?
Get in
No,
there.
okay.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Rocket, who's your favorite?
Well, I was just gonna
Aaron.
say the best moment I think physically in the theater was, and it might have just been because we were all sitting in the same row, but I think what got the biggest reaction was going to Wakanda. And I think that Captain America was like underplayed a lot in this movie.
Oh, he didn't do anything.
Nothing.
That's not
Like,
true.
What did he do?
He was not even there.
He stopped the Thanos punch, man.
He got a new shield.
Also, when he showed up and grabbed that whatever that spear or
Horus
whatever,
blade.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
Horus
was
blade.
that
He's
was
the one
sick,
who
man.
told everyone to go to Wakanda.
Yeah,
That,
He's like, I think I know
was like my
someone.
favorite moment where he knew and then we got to go to Wakanda. I
can't-
love
And
that.
I like they kept
I
that,
was so
that
excited.
scene where Black Panther was saying to get this man his shield. I like that part.
Yeah.
That was a really good part.
And then just the feeling in the theater when everybody put their Wakanda Forever up, that was like a fun
Oh.
moment.
What was crazy was I was watching the movie. I'm thinking, what if Black Panther didn't do well? Were all these scenes filmed already?
Well,
Yes,
I think so. I think so. I'm not. Yeah, but you do bring up a good point. I think so, but yeah.
they knew it was. Look, they knew it was going to be good.
But this well? Did they
This
think
well?
Black Panther would be?
Look, they knew it was going to be a good movie, and I think that was the most important part. Did they think it was going to be a huge box office success? Yes, I think they did, but this well, no, I don't think anyone thought it'd be this.
And I
They
think
had
you could-
every minor
But
character.
you could kind
No,
of
they-
tell they
they-
were there, but
they
they
had-
weren't a big part of it. Like I think if they had had the time to like reshoot and move things around, they would have given like Shuri would have had more time. Like they would have actually.
But also,
had,
they only used Wakanda for like the last.
yeah, it's
45
like
minutes,
main
right?
battle scene
Yeah.
on Earth.
But like they only had 5 characters from it, right? Like
I was just surprised all the minor characters from Black Panther.
I wouldn't say they were minor though.
They were all there except
Like,
for the
where-
guy, except for the guy from Get Out.
And
His mom wasn't
and
there.
Lupita.
Lupita
Yeah.
Nyong'o wasn't there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was
Okay,
just
this-
and
I
and
The guy from
don't-
Get Out's
I
a
don't know
bitch in
people's
that
names.
movie.
he was the worst. I hated
He was a
him
little
so
bitch
much in that movie.
The guy from Get Out. He was a little bitch in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Thanos is a villain. Casey, you talked about it.
I think he was he the best Marvel villain? No, but
Top 5.
I understand. I know Nash disagrees with me here.
You understand what he's doing.
Understand what he's doing.
I understand what he's doing
I
too.
don't agree with it. And for those of you who haven't watched the movie, he is crazy.
He's a
I'm
nihilist.
not saying he's not crazy.
Yeah, he's a nihilist. He's a nihilist.
But he's not just a typical evil villain. He's not bad just to be bad, right? And
And I
can
think
respect what they do.
Nash, you have like
Look,
comic book background.
well,
you
look-
know more.
Look, I remember seeing the first Avengers with Nash and the end credits, like the end credits
Yeah.
when Thanos was like, well, I guess I gotta do this myself. And this guy was going nuts for it. I could tell that he you know, big fan of Thanos t-shirt, everything. So I think Nash will have the best opinion of
All right, Nash, let's
Thanos.
just get in there.
Okay, I do have the comic book background. I'm scrubbing my.
As he pulls the mic towards him.
I do have the comic book background, but my point isn't that he was real to the comics. I don't care about that. I never care about any of that stuff. My point to this is everyone's saying that you can. So what his plan was basically to kill off half the universe, the life in half the universe in the world, in the whole universe, because there's an imbalance. He says that
Yeah.
we're overusing our resources, blah 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 blah. My only problem with that is He's obsessed with the solution and not the problem. So when he has the gauntlet, he can do anything he wants. So he can triple the resources in the universe if he wants. So he doesn't have to kill anybody. So his whole plan is he's just a psychopath. That's.
But wouldn't you argue the fact that he saw his planet get overcome with overpopulation kind of colored his opinion?
Yeah, I think what
So why add more
Nash is
resources?
saying is that he needs to pull himself out and objectively look at what's happening and realize that he has another way to solve it, and he's not doing that because he's stuck on this is the only way.
You guys are going on like
He's a
people are
psychopath.
rational all the time.
I thought it was pretty straightforward what his.
No, but it just gives him. He's just a straight psychopath. He's just another crazy villain.
Of course he is.
Well,
No one's
yeah,
saying
you
he's
see his
not.
freaks of rage that he has in the
Yeah.
movie, like that part where he I don't know what he grabbed some sort of planet and threw it at people.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was when he
that's
grabbed the boot and threw it
yeah,
at
and
Tony
I'm sorry,
Stark.
yeah, and then Tony Stark made a line about
Yeah, you throw another boot at me, we're gonna have a problem.
yeah, he grabbed the moon and just threw it on. That was crazy. But yeah, I think I don't really see other than him being really soft at times. I don't know because Killmonger was never soft, right?
See, Killmonger,
but he had the same plan too, right?
No, but Killmonger I understood because you can get with it. But now, Thanos, you can do anything you want, so you don't have to kill off half. Now he just became a psychopath.
There are people out there
Genocide.
in our real world who actually think that way.
Oh, I believe
that
it.
way.
Oh, I was in traffic in Brampton right now. I thought that
Whoa.
Give Nash the
He
gauntlet.
said,
there was a lot of traffic. I was stuck in traffic.
At the corner of Main and Queen, he's got the
whoa,
gauntlet in his hand.
whoa.
I would have snapped my fingers right then and there.
If you triple the resources, all
You
that's
don't
going to
need
happen is the population is going to want more.
Yeah.
That was
Wait,
his
you don't
point.
think the population is going to come back? Look at what happens after World War II. People just procreate more to refill, and then you get the baby boom. So he's not solving a problem
not
by
just
getting rid of
procreation,
half
it's
of the
the-
population.
It's just I know they're aliens.
Compound interest of humans?
Yeah, humans want more. If there's more to get, they want more.
But this is not solving it because you're not teaching anybody anyone new or any new way of being. You're
People
just
don't learn.
destroying.
Teach him
We
not to
don't
fuck
learn.
around.
So in the comic books, what happened is death, because he's obsessed with death.
Okay. I haven't read the comic book. So
No, it's fine, that's
don't
fine.
Why are you
spoil
talking about the comic
Infinity
book?
Wars 2.
Spoilers. Okay.
No. I'm just going to give you his reason in the comic book. So in the comic book, death, because he's obsessed with death, and death is actually a person in the comic books. So death brings him back to life because death's reasoning is, right now at this present time,
Brings him back to life from what?
he was dead. He was dead previously. So they brought him back to life to get
I
there.
thought that was pretty obvious.
No, I'm sorry. Are we talking about the movie still?
No, the comic book.
But
I'm
is
just
it the
I'm
same-
giving you the comic book reason. I'm giving you the comic book reason. So Death brought him back because she wanted him. Because what was happening right now, there are more people alive than ever died.
Yeah.
So
today's Earth.
what Death wanted to do was create that balance to kill more people. So she brought him back to kill off half those
It's
people.
also called Noah's Ark. It's been done over and over and over. This is a trope from the beginning of time.
Yeah, but my whole beef is there was almost no background on Thanos to lead up to why did he do that? If they showed more of his world, if they showed more of his background,
Maybe they will.
it would make more sense. Maybe they will. Maybe, and that maybe leads
Let's
to
be
his
honest.
point.
This is a Lord of the Rings type of movie where you can't just watch
I don't fully agree with that.
one of them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But okay, they had the Infinity War Part 1 title for so long, and then
yeah.
they just nixed
The
that.
Russos, yeah.
So now this is what I'm calling it. Infinity War to not be named. And what do you want for it?
Well, it's
Like
gonna
with-
be it's gonna
what
be a
do-
straight Avengers movie, no?
Avengers.
Well, what do you want to see, Wells? What
In this movie?
What would in two? What would bring
Two.
this back for you?
Wait, the next Avengers
Yeah.
movie a year from now?
You want to go there first, or you still?
We still haven't
Well,
talked
do
about
you
the
still
ending
have
yet.
more
Yeah,
hope?
Should we
Yeah.
talk about the ending first
Yeah,
before we?
yeah.
All right.
There's still lots
Okay,
more to talk
give me
about.
all your hot takes.
Well,
You
there's-
have hot takes. You
I
said you have hot
Sizzling
takes.
Go.
Sizzling.
Because I have all mine written down. But
Okay.
I have so many hot takes.
So we're gonna talk about the ending now. Basically, what Thanos was saying throughout the whole movie is he would balance the galaxy out by snapping his fingers, and half the people would just disappear.
yes.
So he successfully gets all the Infinity Stones on his gauntlet, and he does this. He snaps his finger, and some of the characters start dying.
You want to say who?
I don't care. Yeah, sure. I can't remember them all, but like basically anyone who has a hot sequel coming out is dead.
He killed Vision to get the last name.
Anyone who's not an original Avenger.
So this is where my first hot take comes out.
So
okay?
Black Panther.
Oh, you got a list?
No, I don't got a
But
list.
I
I'm just going off of what I remember.
No,
so Black
no,
Panther.
just name them off. It'd be easier.
So Spider-Man died.
Yeah. Don't say died. Just say they.
Spider-Man is obsolete or
Well, he
made
died.
into ash.
And that was supposed to be the emotional one, which was a little bit.
Well, why does he get the emotional one? Anyways, go on. Name them all. Name them all.
The
Bucky.
youngest.
Yeah, Bucky, Black Panther.
Which was the most throwaway. That's how you can tell they didn't know how big Black Panther was going to be because his death was like nothing. It was an afterthought.
I honestly believe the next Avengers movie, they just wanted to focus on the original Avengers.
Probably.
So they
But
got
is
rid
this
of
where your
all
hot
of
take
it.
goes?
No, my hot sizzling take
Go on.
is how about all the people that blew up in dust are actually still alive, and all the people that were not blown up in dust are dead.
Ooh,
Kinda
so
like
they
a-
went another dimension.
Yes. Or
I've heard that
we're-
before.
Or yeah, like or okay. So what we saw was, Peter Parker like fading away. How do we know it wasn't the other way around in his vision? Right.
Because at the end, when he was in that purple hut, that might lead like he
But
he might
we
have
didn't
died.
see him see anyone else, right?
Yeah. Because he was in a purple hut and he talked to baby Gamora or young Gamora.
Okay,
when he
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
but I'm saying he might be in that same dimension that you're talking about.
yes, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying is I think all those people that we saw.
Die or whatever.
Okay, that's one of the takes,
Yeah.
right? Because look, they're making a Black Panther 2, obviously.
Obviously,
They're making a Homecoming 2, obviously. Like, there's no way these like future franchises are.
Yeah, they're the future of
But
Marvel.
the other
they're
hot
phase
take,
4.
yeah, the other hot take or theory is that, Captain Marvel is going to come and save the day with the original Avengers. And that's I think that might be the more safe one. This one's kind of just like
and they're saying because all of the original Avengers contracts are done that they're going to like sacrifice themselves
for sure.
somehow.
Yeah, that would make sense. Which is what I thought. Maybe I don't know why they thought. I mean, they have all died, but there's no way. There's no way you kill off all those people without like a dramatic scene, right?
was
And
my-
that,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, like to me, where I didn't think that we got the full story was actually with the Soul Stone. I think there's something else in the sacrifice that hasn't fully come out yet. Because
Yeah.
I don't think the sacrifice would be that easy that he could just, because maybe I don't care that much about Gamora and his relationship, but I didn't feel like that was an even exchange for what they were describing. And the fact that he went back to that same vision made me think that there's something more to do with the Soul Stone and its abilities. And they alluded to it a few times in the movie by saying, like, we don't actually know what this stone does.
Yeah. That's why you went and saw what's his face, Red Helmet or
Red Skull, which
Red
was
Skull.
kind of cool. That
Wasn't Vigo. Do
no,
you
it
know
wasn't
that?
Viggo Mortensen. That wasn't Viggo
no, you
Mortensen.
mean Hugo
Oh,
Weaving?
Hugo Weaving,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, what did I say? Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo
Mortensen.
Mortensen.
Who's Viggo
It's
Mortensen?
it's Elrond, not.
Oh,
Yeah,
You got
What
the
about-
right others.
There-
we're in the right movies.
What about the line by Doctor Strange at the end?
yeah. It's
He
not.
said
This is we're in the end
This
game
was
now.
the only way.
Yeah.
Because he used a time stone to see what was going on in the
Yeah.
future, and he said I can't remember some
There's
million.
only
One in
and there's
14
only one.
million.
Yeah, 1 in
And
14
he
million.
said this
way.
was the only way. He knows there's a big sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
He made it clear that he wasn't going to give up the time stone to save anybody.
Because he's going to need Iron Man.
Yeah, I think there's some big ramifications at the end of Avengers 4, and he made the sacrifice. He knew he had to.
Question: you guys don't want me to say anything about comic books, right?
Well, I mean, like, you could say...
Okay, no, okay. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys.
Oh, no. Whoa.
Well, don't ruin any.
Yeah, because there's certain things I know that, but I'm just wondering if you want me to bring this up in the podcast.
No,
so
don't.
obviously I'm not going to do that. But it's kind of great because this ending was why Age of Ultron happened. You guys remember that? So the reason why Iron Man built Ultron is because he saw this ending. Remember, he had that vision in the beginning of Age of Ultron where he saw all the Avengers dead. So this is coming back around, and that's
This
why.
also from Nash, who rewatched all the Marvel MCU movies.
You should have
leading
done
up
the
to
marathon at the theater. They did
No,
like
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I did. I watched them. It took me about 2 weeks to.
They're all on
watch them.
Netflix, right?
Some of them. Most of them are on there. But I also have all the movies downloaded too. So it took me I watched them in actual order. You're
Downloaded
supposed
legally.
Yeah. The order you're supposed to watch them in. I did that about a couple weeks ago.
Supposed to. So Captain America first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a bit more. But anyway, this all comes back
That was
to
not a good movie.
What?
which one?
I'm sorry, I did not like Captain America.
The first one.
Oh, wait, but
Crazy.
save that
The
because
best
I have a
Marvel
game. I
movie.
have a game. Save, save,
Okay.
save.
Okay.
Which is
Hot
a-
takes. Keep going.
Yeah. What other hot takes do you have of this ending? You gotta have one. I know you got something sizzling over there.
Come on, Casey. You got something.
I don't. I mean,
Get out of
okay,
here.
you go first, and then I'll.
All right. So I said the Age of Ultron. Let me see. Scarlet Witch and Dr. Banner. No,
You think there's some heat brewing?
Wait.
no, there was nothing.
We're talking about the ending, right?
Are we talking about the ending? I was just going through the whole movie.
No,
with
it's
that.
not Scarlet Witch and Dr. Banner.
Sorry.
It's
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson. So
and
it's
Dr.
Black
Banner.
Widow,
Black Widow. you
Black
mean?
Widow,
Yeah, sorry.
and the Hulk.
You see what I did there?
They had a moment. They had a moment when
but it
she
was
looked at
nothing.
him and said, "You're back," right?
But
And
they
that was
had
it.
something before.
Yeah, but this is the first time she's seeing him because he was gone between
Yeah.
he was in Thor land.
Yeah.
So
And it was
but
like,
that was the moment.
that was it?
No,
So we had
they
a
were-
relationship
they
going
were-
on.
They were in the middle of a pretty big fight. I mean, they didn't have time to. I'm pretty happy they didn't have time to, run up to each other in slow motion, hug and kiss, and he lifts her up in the air
But they
while
made
aliens are fighting around.
but they made a whole thing about Scarlet Witch and Vision, which they never had a
Yeah,
relationship.
but that
really.
was important.
They did have
They
a
were making.
relationship.
They were
They
making
didn't.
food in the
and
Civil War.
don't they go and start the new Avengers together?
He has the Mind Stone.
Soul Stone. Oh,
Whatever.
Mind Stone. Sorry, Mind Stone. Yeah,
I
Mind Stone.
was right.
And they did start that relationship at the end of the last movie that they were in. They did.
No, that whole love thing that was not. Earned.
I'm sorry. I agree. I saw the love scene. It wasn't a love scene.
There wasn't
but
love. There was nothing.
It started
I
at
didn't
the
buy
end.
it.
See the inkling.
I don't buy it.
See,
But-
it wasn't earned.
And
He's
maybe
a
this
motherfucking
is
robot.
my problem
Yeah,
because
I
don't know what he
I've
is,
read
man.
the wikis because I know that they go and start the new Avengers together, so they have a relationship.
So did Falcon. So did War Machine. They all went and go start new
They have
Avengers.
love.
That relationship wasn't
How did
earned.
they make love?
Yeah, that relationship was not earned. They just made it up right there. In
Also-
They did not make it
how
up.
did-
Go back and rewatch the movie.
How
It
did
was
they
in there.
have the actor? So Paul Bettany, the actor, they actually had him as his human element form without the stone in his head. I didn't understand that part.
It's part of his power, so he can do all these things again.
Why does he look like him? Why does he look like, I don't know,
Somebody else,
like Brad
Handsome?
Pitt or something, or like Zac Efron? I don't know, like something generic. Like, why does he take that form as an English dude? I don't understand.
But also, shout out to Paul Bettany for looking so
Yeah,
young.
I think you
That's
and me
what
said
we
that.
said that.
Yeah.
We were like, think about the fact that Master and Commander was like 20 years ago, and he looks the exact same. It's like
I think that
him
was
and
good.
Paul Rudd do not age.
No, Paul Rudd looks younger than
Today.
when he was in
Like,
Clueless.
Anyway, I don't think that relationship was earned. Yeah, they could have just said, "Hey, have a conversation." I guess maybe 2.5 hours. There's no time to have a conversation between Banner and Scarlet Witch.
It's like, what
did it again.
what would
Scarlett
you have
Johansson.
traded so that they could have had one more line?
What would have it added?
Well,
Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what would have?
I felt they
Done.
did it in that one look. They got it.
I agree completely.
I think
I guess.
Casey and I watched the same movie. You guys were watching a different
I
movie.
guess.
Give me some more takes.
I said the CGI already. I have a theory about Hawkeye. I think because he wasn't in the movie.
Neither was Ant-Man. I
Neither was
I was
Ant-Man.
upset.
Now, have you guys seen any of the pictures from Avengers 4?
What? How? I just saw the movie for.
Yeah, because they filmed them up. They filmed them
But
both
are
at the
you
same
gonna
time.
do?
I need
spoilers?
like a week off, man.
Oh, did you? Yeah, they filmed them at the same time. So, do you guys know anything about what's happening in Hawkeye, the next movie?
Well,
No, I don't want to know.
They did mention him in the movie. They said that he was under house arrest or something like that.
Okay, so you guys don't want to know? It's okay. I won't bring.
No,
that up.
I don't want to know anything about the next movie. I don't want to
Okay,
see any
okay.
trailers.
Okay. I won't bring
I don't
that
want
up.
to know anything about the next movie.
I won't bring that up.
If you don't post any in group chats of any trailers, nothing.
Red Skull. We talked about that.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That was pretty
That was a pretty surprise because, sorry, who's the actor who originally played him?
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving said he didn't want to do it. Then he said he did want to do it. Then he was like, said he was done with it. Then I saw that. It was like, I was very shocked. So apparently that's an actor that was on The Walking Dead, who's apparently the best impressionist. So he sounded like him, and I thought he was him.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, you can bury yourself under that
Yeah.
makes
And
right?
that's why Hugo Weaving said he never wanted to do it again because of the full face. He didn't like the full face makeup.
I can understand that.
And also, yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. I'll give Marvel one thing that they are very better than DC at. They can just pull little things from like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on. That character is actually from the comic book that was supposed to be the original Nick Fury, but they changed that character that he was in Black Cloak. He actually has a name. I can't remember what it is. Someone's screaming at me right now through the mic. Yeah, it's just their ability to like pull little things in the here and there and then add it to something else that kind of gives fan service. Like even Captain America when he's dressed all in black, that's another character to itself, which is called he's called No
Like
Man.
little Easter eggs, like shout
Yeah,
outs,
yeah,
right?
little Easter eggs. That character himself, when he's dressed all in black, is called No Man. Because there was a point where Captain America left all the superheroes, but he came back dressed up as a completely different character.
Well, and that's what I think they can do well, because I haven't read a single comic, and they make a completely enjoyable movie, and they put little things in there for the people who are fans. And I think that's what's the name of the guy? Krieg?
Oh, the head of Marvel?
The head of
Feige.
Marvel? Feige?
Feige.
Kevin
Feige,
Feige.
yeah.
Kevin
He
Feige.
has done such a
Yeah,
good job
watch how you
of
say
building a universe that everyone and their mom can enjoy, and the fanboys don't get too offended.
And they can always find a way to get Stan Lee in there, and they checked that off the list pretty quick.
I like that they accept, like, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of these just cameos, and they got rid of it really quick, so fans aren't sitting there like, oh, when's Stan Lee gonna come in? When's Stan Lee gonna come in? They just got rid of it quick, and that was it. So apparently they filmed like 10 now.
I was gonna say they have to like start filming them in advance, because at a certain point he's not gonna be there anymore.
Well, he's like 95 years old.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add on. I just wanted to kick DC for a bit here, but like it's like the comparison between the two.
You
is
can't
insane.
do it.
DC is so bad. How are you? I don't know about you. Like Smythe is all about DC, man.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I agree with you completely. DC,
They're so bad.
with the movies, is so bad. But if you
I'm
actually
talking about the
want-
movies. I'm talking about the universe.
Yeah, for the DC, they just want to catch up. They saw the cash coming into Disney's bank, and they're like, we got to get on that.
They need
And
to figure out a different angle. Wonder Woman is the only.
Marvel took their time.
10
At
years.
the end of the day, Marvel took their time, and
2
DC
movies a year.
wanted to catch up to Marvel in a year.
Yeah.
Right? And let's think about it. In 1 year. 10 years for Marvel, 1 year for them.
Well, you see all the payoffs that came off in this movie. Because if you watch all those 20 movies, was it 20 movies before this?
19.
Yeah. You'll see all the little payoffs. Like I said, the Age of Ultron coming back around and all these little payoffs. And then when DC tried to do it, it failed miserably because remember in Batman vs. Superman and Batman... Batman saw that vision from the Flash.
And it meant nothing.
No. It came back. Do you remember?
But
it
like
came
you
back.
don't remember because you didn't care. You were
came-
like, and why am I still watching this movie?
It came back in the Justice League movie. Do you remember the scene?
You see, I never saw the Justice League movie because
Do you remember the scene?
I didn't watch it either.
I'm done with
I know what you were
Who
talking
cares?
about in Batman vs Superman, but I didn't make it that far in Justice League.
In that so Superman
Wonder
came back.
Woman.
Yeah,
Wonder
Superman
Woman.
came back and he was crazy. It was just done very bad. So Superman came back and he was crazy, and then Batman decided to bring Martha. Batman decided to bring Lois Lane. And he just like he's fighting all the Justice League, and then Lois Lane comes out of a car. I don't know where the hell she came from. Comes out of a car and snaps him out of it. So that was
Martha.
yeah. You have to watch the movie to say
No.
that was a payoff. It was done so bad.
Dog, no.
I'll give DC this. Outside of their movie universe,
Their animated universe.
Their animated universe is
Very
much
good.
better than Marvel's.
Much better.
So they know how to do that.
But for some reason they can't make movies.
It's not that they can't. Like I said,
They rushed it.
They want to rush it. They want to catch up right now, and they're not willing to pay for the build-up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Marvel had this planned out from the beginning.
They had to.
I refuse to believe
Remember those
Marvel
phases
They
they
had to.
Like I remember like
From
4 or 5
Iron
years
Man
ago.
1,
Somebody
I do not
sat
think they knew.
and
they knew what they were sitting
strategized.
on.
But
They
like 4 or
wrote it
5
out.
years ago, they
Yeah.
had the phases on like Black Panther, 2018.
No.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what's
They
Black
did that, but
Panther?
I'm talking about the first Iron Man.
okay.
They didn't know then, right?
They had a kind of like rough plan, but they didn't. I don't think they envisioned this.
No.
Like I don't think they envisioned. Yeah, we're gonna break up box office records with Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't think they thought Guardians of the
And that's
Galaxy
where
would be an
there's
actual
that's
movie.
that's like
right?
the feat of movie making that you were talking about in your overall, like the fact that they've done this and that it all comes. It's amazing.
I think that's like in alone gives it like a 7 out of 10.
And they've grown, I think, because the fighting scenes before, I had a real problem with the fighting scenes. Like you couldn't tell what was going on. It was cut. It was all fanatic and all that stuff. Now, I can, like in Black Panther, I think we noticed it, that first fighting scene in the casino when it was just one shot.
But that's the director's choice, right?
Yeah, but like even in this movie when which the best fighting scene is when Thanos was fighting Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Like it was going fast, but there was no cuts. It wasn't like super cut. But the only bad fighting scene I think was the last one. I didn't really know what was going on in that one. But yeah, the fighting scenes
like with the orcs in Wakanda.
Yeah.
I didn't care much for the dogs.
The orc dogs. I was like, where are they?
I didn't understand that whole thing. Remember because they're banging themselves against a shield, and then they started running around. And it's like, oh, they're going around. I'm like, oh, so we have to open it up. I'm like, I didn't understand that.
Because if they kept pushing through, they would break it,
whole
and
thing.
they would all come through from the back, and then they couldn't
them.
defend. So they were like doing a 300. They're like, let's push them through a funnel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, but Wanda's there.
But like
Wanda was at the back, so she just killed them all like she did.
She was busy.
And then Thor came in. But no, I think in the last couple years, I think once Winter Soldier came out, like the action scenes got like these guys, Joe and Anthony Russo, the guys who did the last two Captain Americas and Avengers. I think they made the fighting.
It got better.
It made it like more realistic,
Yep.
if that makes sense. Like with like superhero powers.
It was still a lot of cuts in that movie. That movie especially, I noticed it. Like the cuts, there was still a lot of cuts, but it did get better from previous movies. Like they have grown, like the Russos. They definitely have grown.
I don't know. I think my favorite fight scene is from Winter Soldier when he's in the elevator.
That's
and
like
he
the
gives
best.
and he gives the speech to those guys before he's like, anybody want to get out
I
of
think
here?
they would say that if you were going to like rank Marvel fight scenes in general, that
well,
is like
the Black
number.
Panther scene in the casino was pretty badass.
Scene in Casino, the Winter Soldier, which is
There's a couple scenes in that movie.
It's either one or two for my favorite movie, Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Well, that last scene with him and Bucky, there's a lot of cuts in that movie. Like I did notice.
I didn't care
fight.
for the end fight scene.
Yeah, that was a lot of cuts.
But the beginning scene when they were on the boat
Against George St. Pierre.
and
which is kind of weird.
And the car chase with Samuel L. Jackson was one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, that was a good scene. That was a great scene.
like,
yeah,
that was a really good movie.
that fight scene with George St. Pierre, and he plays the Brock the Leaper.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're superpowered, and he's just a human. Like
The leaper or the leper?
Brock the Leaper.
Like
So
he leaps over people?
So this is your beef that he had a hard time fighting him.
He could have beat his ass right
Yet
then and
when
there.
Thanos throws a punch, which knocked Hulk out, he was able to block it.
I had a problem with that.
I see a point.
Casey's like, I get it.
When you actually look at it
get
from that perspective, I begin to see your point.
He beat down the Hulk, no problem. And Captain America can stop his punch.
There's something to be said for adrenaline. There's something to be said for they've been
beard,
training.
he's a bit more,
He's got
More
more
seasoned.
experience. This is like year 6 of the playoffs for him. This is it, right?
And even maybe I can maybe believe it more because even that fight when he had with Iron Man, Thanos, that was pretty cool. But at the same time, like Thanos just kicked the shit out of Hulk, no problem. But he's having a problem with your Iron Man armor. Again, another one where I'm like, it was a cool scene though. It was a very cool fight. Do you guys remember that?
The way the Hulk fights is I run at you.
You just need to, sit back and just come on, let it happen.
He's a comic book fan though. Like, I mean, I understand where he's coming
Well,
from.
the most unrealistic shit happens in comics books.
No, I get it, but there's certain,
And then they can just do
there's
second
certain,
universe and start all
sci-fi
over.
shows
The
I
fact
like.
that they can like translate it to film
it's amazing.
and make
Yeah, it's
it
amazing.
so fluid is again
it's a feat.
Automatic 7 out of 10. just for the fact that I could watch this movie.
You know, what's another scene that made me giddy when they're fighting the dogs, and then they're like, okay, we got to do this, and they started running towards the people. The dogs or whatever, and then Captain America and Panther just outran everyone, and they just got to the fight faster.
Yeah, that was awesome. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Anything else out there?
When Captain America saw Groot, I
Now
have all
she's
these
still
written down.
going.
When Captain America saw Groot, he's like, what did he say to him? He turned to him and he said something. He's like, who are you or something like that? And he's like, I am Groot. And he turns to him like, I am Steve Rogers.
That's why I think the one thing about this movie that deserves so much of a rewatch is that there's so many one-liners that when you laughed, I'm sure we missed half of them. So we need to go back, straight-faced, no laughter.
Yeah, I felt bad for Casey. I was laughing pretty loud at some
You know what? In VIP, you're sitting. You have a nice room.
Yeah,
so
but you're
everybody
still
hear them, right? That's why you should watch it in VIP. But yeah, you're right. I mean, all the characters were just fun.
Yeah,
Right? Even
it
if you
was.
didn't
It was
enjoy-
so
yeah.
fun,
Even if you didn't enjoy Doctor Strange or you didn't enjoy Captain America or whatever it was,
and it
right?
doesn't matter because they each had 12 lines, so they're not there for very long if
enjoyed
you
the
don't like them.
dynamic. I cannot stand Iron Man 3, right? But
bad. It's bad.
But he was still an awesome character.
You guys like Jokey Banner?
Who?
Jokey Banner, like the way Banner is now. He's
Jokey banter.
I thought it was like a...
Banner. Like he's a bit of a goof now.
I thought it was like a Mexican soccer player.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. like Bruce Banner's a bit of a goof now. Do you like that? Do you like that
But
version?
I mean, the same thing with Thor.
Well,
though, right?
it's like
I
it's
mean,
like you know what? If you hang around the same people very often, you just have more inside
Yeah, yeah.
jokes. You joke around more, right? It doesn't matter who you are. Like people have those connections, right? So I think that was like these guys have been around each other for so long that they have that sort of like they can play off each other.
yeah, and serious, super serious Banner from the old movies.
Yeah, it
He's
was
not
the
fun
worst.
at all.
Yeah.
right?
Edward Norton.
Yeah. What was
And he had it was interesting if you think about if that's how they wrote the Hulk to begin with, because it was kind of like added on. Like he was given the job of being the messenger. He was the only one that knew what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go and storytell about Thanos, and then he had his kind of like comic relief character issues. So it was interesting when you talk about him like being in the trailer scene and then not being anywhere else, to see like maybe they rejigged it after the success of comedy.
No, I think they did it on purpose. That whole scene where they're running, I think they did it on purpose.
I think they ran out of CGI money and they couldn't do it.
No, I think they did it on purpose. No, I think they did it on purpose.
There's no shortage of money in MCU.
Yeah, I basically have two more points. But the whole Hulk not coming out, again, they didn't explain that at all. Why Hulk couldn't come out.
I think
There's
he
a
was
second
scared.
He had performance anxiety.
I think he was
He
scared,
just
man.
got beat
PTSD.
up. He just got beat up.
It was
Yeah.
but it was from the first scene.
I don't think he wanted to
But
come
they,
out.
yeah, they didn't actually explain it though. He didn't
But
say
it was
anything about
inferred.
it. No, it
Sometimes
wasn't.
you don't have to.
Yeah, it was never.
That was 100% inferred.
No, it was not. When?
He had his scene where he failed.
Miserably.
He couldn't beat Thanos
Yeah.
in the very first
I
scene
know,
of the
no,
movie.
I get that.
Got his
And
ass
so then
handed
he
to him.
I thought it
was
was cool.
scared.
I thought it was cool.
No, it's fine.
He was hiding.
But they didn't say he was scared. All he said was,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he was
They don't
trying
have
to
to hand it
coax.
on a cookie platter for
You
you.
want
Well,
this is what I
clearly they do for some people.
didn't I say this to you in the movie?
No.
Because Dwayne or Nash got mad in the movie that they weren't giving enough exposition, and I turned to him and said, "You love Dunkirk. They didn't give anyone's name. This is your favorite movie of 2017, and now you want exposition?
explain
We're
things.
19 movies
Why did they
in.
need to explain it? They didn't explain what happened to everyone, did they?
why Hulk can't
And this
come
has
out?"
been Zero series.
Yeah, why Hulk can't come out, and they didn't explain why he couldn't come out.
He got his ass kicked, man.
What the, whatever.
Has he ever gotten his ass kicked? No.
No, he has never.
So he's trying to deal with it, man.
Okay,
Like-
last point.
I have one more point. Sometimes you look at Robert Downey Jr. and some of these movies, and I think it happened in, was it Civil War? At the end of Civil War, where you actually sit back and go, "Oh man, he can actually act. I forgot he can actually act." And in this movie, I think he was very good. I actually felt like through his acting, the actual weight of everything. He's like, "Oh man, I basically failed." And my worst nightmare came through and actually failed. Even when that scene when he was like holding Spider-Man, it's like, because when he went up into the when he followed not Proxima Midnight, whatever, he followed the other guy there up to the spaceship. And he's like, and he's like, "What are you doing up here? Like, this is a suicide mission. Like, what are you doing here, Spider-Man? Like, this is like we're not coming back from this."
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing, like Robert Downey Jr. I'm like, man, like this guy can act. Like when he got stabbed and he was like seeing everyone died, he's like, man, I failed. And like I felt that weight from him. So kudos to him in this movie. Like he actually acted.
And this is his, like, almost take a bow. So I think you are getting primed and ready for his last stand as Iron Man in the next movie, right? So this is it. This is his last chance.
Who do you think is really gonna die?
I think original ones.
They are.
think
All
not
the
all.
people whose contracts
Not
are
Thor. I don't
done.
think
I think Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think Thor
Captain America.
and
Thor,
Captain
obviously.
America.
I think Thor because they've found his groove and he's fine playing Thor. Chris Hemsworth. He's fine playing Chris Hemsworth.
Because they
But
didn't do anything else.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think well, if we go back to the real world here, they're paying Robert Downey Jr. $80 million a movie now?
What?
Something like that. It's crazy.
No.
Yeah, he's up there.
Come on.
And he's done. He said he's done.
No, he's never said he's done.
What if I get $80 million a movie? No way he gets paid that.
Let's check that. Let's
All right,
Google that.
we'll follow up on that one.
But
Okay.
and then Chris Hemsworth said he's done playing Captain America anyway. Like
You mean Chris
he's
Evans?
over it.
Chris
Yeah,
Evans.
Chris Evans. Sorry, what did I say?
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth.
Oh, sorry. Too many Chris's.
Are you all right, man?
I get confused sometimes.
It's getting very warm in here.
I get easily confused. But I think in some way or another, Captain America might die, and then maybe they'll step aside with Iron Man because they're just paying him too much money.
For some reason, the only contract I know of is that the guy who plays Bucky got 9 movies. That's all I know.
Because he's
did?
Captain America too.
He's probably gonna be new Captain
I
America.
thought Falcon was Captain America.
I think it's Bucky Barnes.
No, they can go either way. But they'll probably go with White Wolf, as they're calling
Excuse
him
me?
now. They call him White Wolf in the movie now.
Who?
Bucky.
Oh yeah, because in Wakanda.
Yeah. What do you think I was talking about?
Okay, so I nerded out a little bit and I made a game, but I don't think we can do it because I think we talked for.
Come on, keep on.
Wait, no. We just got what's going on up there text message. So I feel like we should leave it at the. I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to give you guys homework
No one's gonna do this.
so that we can come back. But basically, what I wanted to make was the ultimate Marvel movie power ranking.
We can do it maybe later.
And so I pulled out 4 stats. So I have like total take, like North America gross. I have Rotten Tomatoes score. I have number of weekends at number 1. And then I wanted to leave it up to you guys to rank the enjoyment factor. So how much you actually liked that movie. And there's 17 of them. So we can figure out the ultimate Marvel power ranking one day in the future.
It's clever.
I made it in a spreadsheet. It has formulas. It's really cool.
Unless you guys want to debate this right now.
But I don't.
I say we could do a little quick. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Okay.
The top.
I
2.
think you can go top 5 really fast
Well, top 5. Well, okay.
for just enjoyment.
Just enjoyment.
Do you want me to run them down just so that you can see
No.
them?
No.
You know them off the top of your head?
Who
Yeah.
wants to go first? I'll go first.
Winter Soldier.
All right, go on. Yep, go on. Sorry.
As number 1?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
I said that before.
Yeah, you did.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers. The first one.
Yes, go on.
And
You're not gonna throw in this movie? Or you don't think so?
I think I might go with Ant-Man.
Really?
What?
I really liked Ant-Man.
That's surprising to me. That one's surprising to me.
Um,
But you're not gonna throw in this movie?
no, you know what? Take that back. I'm sorry, and put Civil War
As which
as,
one?
as number 5.
Number 5?
Yeah,
Oh,
with
interesting.
Ant-Man a close 6,
Interesting. Casey,
and
you
Doctor Strange is last.
Casey, you want
I
to go?
like Doctor Strange. I'm gonna go with how many times I've watched it on Netflix.
I know you're gonna go Winter Soldier first.
Winter Soldier, is my favorite Marvel movie, right?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I would have to say, unfortunately, to copy Wells, Black Panther is second on that one.
There's an echo in here, man.
I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So I'd put third on that one. I've seen that like 3, maybe 4 times
That's
on
fair, that's
Netflix
fair.
too. Avengers 1. Good. Wasn't a big
See,
fan of
same
the
as
second one.
before.
Huge echo in here.
And the fifth one,
This is rough, eh?
that one's a tough one.
I feel like 3 to 10 you could like interchange.
Yeah, you
like it's the
can.
Western Conference of the NBA.
Give him some movies there, Aaron. What is he not named?
Okay, you've got Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3,
Age of Ultron's pretty low.
Civil War, Homecoming,
Ooh,
Ragnarok,
Ragnarok is
Iron
good,
Man
too.
2, Infinity War, Ant-Man, The First Avenger, Thor, Incredible Hulk, The Dark World.
It would be between Civil War and
Interesting.
Homecoming, I think.
Homecoming? All right.
I
throw in
really
Homecoming.
enjoyed Homecoming.
All right.
It was
we'll
good.
we'll throw in Homecoming there, Aaron, for Casey. So mine is going to be Iron Man as one. Just because that was the first one. I can't beat that enjoyment ever. Like, just seeing, like, a comic book movie done so well. It's crazy. Second, Avengers 1. Third, Black Panther. Fourth, Infinity War. And fifth, just for pure enjoyment, just my Thor Ragnarok.
That's fair.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok was really good. That was my favorite Thor movie.
Okay, and everyone say their worst.
The worst? Well, it's definitely not Doctor Strange.
That's
thought
fair.
That was pretty good.
You got one? You got one, Wes?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange?
Can we go back to the original Spider-Man movies?
No, it's not
this
part of the
is
MCU. My worst in the MCU would probably have to be either Hulk, Dark World, or...
You mean Thor: Dark World?
Thor, Dark World.
The Hulk with Edward Norton. I watched that again on
that's
Netflix. That is not a good movie.
That's fair.
I think I'm going to go Thor: Dark World. I didn't enjoy the movie at all. That's the worst one.
Okay, I'm going to crunch some numbers and let's post them on Instagram later.
Sure.
Oh, crunch numbers. Or you want to put them on Instagram? Or you want
We'll put them on Instagram. I need to do some math because you guys didn't. I wanted you guys to come up with your official enjoyment ranking, and
Okay.
since I've got all different ones, I have to play with the number.
We can do that later.
Civil War.
There's people yelling at you.
I'm being yelled at.
Yeah, whatever. They knew the deal. I didn't... Whatever.
Okay, well that was fun.
Yeah,
Thanks for the discourse. We all need to go see it again.
I do.
And then you guys can do take 2 if you learned anything else in your regular team podcast. And for everybody else, thanks for coming back to our Zero series. And we'll talk to you again. Next movie, maybe Deadpool gets its own pod too.
Han Solo.
Thanks, guys.
Ooh. Bye.